प्रणमो अरिहंताणं प्रणमो सिद्धाणं प्रणमो आयुरीयाणं प्रणमो वज्रायाणं प्रणमो लोये सवसाहुरम् संतप्त मानस शांत हों जिनके गुणों के गान में वे वर्धमान महान जिन विचरे हमारे ध्यान में। यदि कोई ईर्ष्या भाव से निंदा करे जिन मार्ग की, छोड़ो न भक्ति वचन सुन इस वीतरागी मार्ग की। So the topic of discussion today is Lord Mahavir. As we are just called Jain, so question it's a very natural question which arises in our mind since childhood, especially in my mind. Why is it so that we are called Jain? Later on, when I studied Jainism and just came into the contact of the many scholars, and it was clarified that we are the follower of Jin Dev. That's why we are called Jain. So in today's session, we are going to discuss about the life of Mahavir, history of Mahavir and Lord Adinath, since Adinath to Mahavir, and after Mahavir, Acharya Kunkun and his parampara, and the authenticity of the principle delivered by Acharya Kunkun and Lord Mahavir. Later on, we will discuss on we will put some light on life story of Mahavir. Then we will discuss in detail the principle preached by Mahavir and what are the practical uses in our life. So we are Jain and we are the follower of Mahavir. Before just going to tell the story of Mahavir, I would like to tell you the starting point of just a Tirthankar tradition. First Tirthankar is Lord Rishabhdev, as we all know. So we cannot say Lord Tirthankar is the first Tirthankar, but in this era, in this Hunda Apsarpani Kal, he's called first Tirthankar. So first Tirthankar, Rishabhdev, and the last Tirthankar, Lord Mahavir. It means what the modern history just states that Jain philosophy started by Lord Mahavir. So the statement is not true because we are having many evidences that before Mahavir there were Jainism, Tirthankar, etc. So Adinath was just Adinath. It means who started this era of Undap Sarpanikal and established each and everything, established societies, just created some rules of taxation, how to run kingdom, what are the duties of man and woman, what are the duties of Muni, what are the duties towards ourselves as well. Then Ajitnath, then Sambhavnath, Pushpadant, Mallinath, Shantinath, Munisubratnath. And during these uh, Tirthankar era, we can just hear the story of Lord Ram. He's very famous, and Krishna, Hanuman, and Shankarji as well. We are not going to discuss on them, but just I'm just mentioning that from Adinath to Lord Mahavir, we can recognize these are the many famous and important character of this tradition. Now, going to jumping to Tirthankar Mahavir. So Mahavir is very famous nowadays. Why he's so famous? Why he's so famous? Because he's the last Tirthankar and we are under the ruling of Lord Mahavir. He's last Tirthankar and after Bhagwan Mahavir, there is no Tirthankar because it was the end of this fourth era, fourth Kal. And we are just in fifth era, fifth Kal. And in this era, there will be no Tirthankar till the end. So the brief history of that brief tradition, what I've just mentioned here, from Lord Adinath to Lord Mahavir. After Mahavir, we can just remember Acharya Kunkun, Gautam Gandhar, Samanbhaddacharya, Bhattaklang Dev, Acharya Umaswamy. So these all are the follower of the traditions of Mahavir. Bhagwan Mahavir preached before around 2600 years in this Bharat Bhumi. And what Gardhar Acharya just adopted or listened the divine dhvani of Lord Mahavir, he just passed it over to acharyas, just like Kund, etc. They just written in many granthas, and now we are having the principle in the format of uh, books, granth, and principles. It means this is the authenticity of the principles of Lord Mahavir or the authenticity of Jain philosophy. That Jain philosophy has been not made by any person, any individual person. Why? Because we are having a long legacy. We are having long tradition. So Mahavir preached before 2600 years ago. Then Gautam Gardar, then Acharya Kun, Acharya Aklang Dev, Acharya Umaswamy, etc. They just written exactly what the preaching of Lord Mahavir in their Granth. It means, as per Pandit Todumalji, what I'm writing, what I'm going to write here is not my words, it's not my principles. These are the words and this is the parampara of Lord Mahavir. So first of all, before knowing the life of Lord Mahavir or the principles of Lord Mahavir, we must have faith, utmost faith in our heart that these principles are not made by anyone, not any individual, but these are directly from Lord Mahavir and in his tradition. Because in absence of this faith, definitely we will have many questions. Of course, you will have many questions. You may have many questions. And it naturally, if we are just talking about the principle of Anekantan Sadhvat, if we are just talking about the principle of aparigraha and ahimsa, definitely many questions will arise in your mind and heart. But I'm talking about if you are not having faith in Lord Mahavir or these principles directly we have received from Lord Mahavir, then many doubts will arise in your mind and heart, and that will create a problem for self realization. So, it is short introduction of before Lord Mahavir and how it is useful to have faith in Lord Mahavir. Now, if we just talk about the life story of Lord Mahavir, it's very simple, because as it is very famous, he was brahmachari. It means he did not get married. So we are having nothing to tell about him that how many wives he had, how many children he had, nothing. It means he did not accepted the rule, the he did not accept the kingdom. It means his father, he tried to hand it over, that now it's a kingdom, I'm going to hand over to you, and now you can operate it. And he clearly denied, no, I'm not ready to do this. So the life story, it means instance of or the effects of Mahabir are limited, but we can discuss lots of about him because of his simplicity and some incidences what occurred in his life. As we are having a one presentation, what I think, Harshal, could you share that? So you, if you just read that,
That presentation is with you, Saurabh sir.
okay, I'm just using mobile and okay, no matter. I'm just trying to find it out.
Okay. Even you can share it with me. I can share.
Mm-hmm. Okay, it will take time, I think. So we should not waste the time. So Jainism is not merely a religion, but a way of life. It is a transformative path that turns a devotee into deity and seeker into the Siddha. It means Jainism is not mere religion. We cannot say that the Jainism having many customs and we will have to follow them. There is a specific purpose to follow all kind of customs. The purpose is only one, which is self realization. Remember, remember the purpose of knowing Jain philosophy, the purpose to follow the principle of Jainism, the purpose to know the life of Lord Mahavir is only one purpose, to know thyself. It means in future, I would like also to be like Lord Mahavir. It means permanent happiness I would like to have in my life. That's why we are here. We are here not to discuss about the biography of Lord Mahavir. We are here by knowing the biography of Lord Mahavir and the principle preached by Lord Mahavir, we can understand what the way he adopted, what the way he adopted in the path of peace and prosperity, in the path of salvation. Then we can just get motivation and we can get the proper way to go there. So Tirthankar, uh, any place that aids a seeker in achieving liberation is called Tirth, and the one who preaches this path is not known as Tirthankar. So Tirthankar are the propagators of this path of liberation, and when discussing Tirthankar, the first name that springs in mind is Lord Mahavir. Mahatma Gandhi regarded him as the embodiment of non-violence. Lord Mahavir is revered as symbol of Jainism worldwide. So Bhagwan Mahavir is acceptable worldwide. Okay. So the five auspicious event of Tirthankar celebrated with immense grandeur by celestial being of human alike. These events are conception event. So when Bhagwan Mahavir got birth in this Bharat Bhumi, so we can call five Panch Kalyanak. First Kalyanak was Garbh Kalyanak. Conception event means when just mother uh, just have a baby Bhagwan Mahavir, it's called Garbh Kalyanak. Then Janm Kalyanak, so it is called birth event. Then Diksha Kalyanak, then Keval Gyan Kalyanak, and last one is Moksha Kalyanak. So Bhagwan Mahavir completed all five Kalyanak. You know, the remarkable thing is that we are just talking about the Kalyanak. Kalyanak, it means first Kalyanak is Garbh Kalyanak. It means as common man, just initially he comes into the womb of his mother, then got birth properly, as all humans are just following this procedure by nature. As Lord Mahavir was not exception to follow this, he also got birth as an ordinary man, but by his ardent purusharth, by self-realization, by just having uh, tap, he achieved Keval Gyan. It means in Jain philosophy, gods are not born, but on the basis of their param purusharth, on the basis of self-realization, they become God. So this point is really remarkable. And this point is really like it can discriminate Jain philosophy, Jainins to others, because there are many philosophy in this world, worldwide. So most of the philosophy they consider that God are born, but in Jain philosophy, gods are not born; they are made by their purusharth. So approximately 2,600 years ago, he just got birth, and the mother name of Lord Mahavir was Trishla, and father name was Siddharth. Of course, though he is God, but he just took birth like ordinary man, so it is not possible in this Karm Bhumi. All the Manushya in this Karm Bhumi, they are having parents. Without parents, birth is not possible. Okay. So as Mahavir, as I have told you that he just got birth as a like common man, and he had father and mother. So mother name was Trishla. Of course, she was celestial being, and Siddharth, he was a great person, great just king. So Bhagwan Mahavir, Lord Mahavir, father was a king, We are having five names of Lord Mahavir: Veer, Atveer, Sanmativir, Mahavir, and Vardhaman. Only one Tirthankar who is possessing five names. Adinath and Rishabdev, we know that there are two names of first Tirthankar, but five names, Vardhaman, Veer, Atveer, etc., only Bhagwan Mahavir is having. So, you know, these names are not in vain, but there is a specific meaning and incidences. Like uh, Vardhaman, this name was given to him by his parents due to his exceptional progress in all fields. So he was, you know, Mahavir, when he was just growing, so he was handsome, intelligent, sincere, each and every virtues what must have to a man he was having that time. So his name was given to him by his parents due to his exceptional progress in all fields. Veer. So there is an incident. Veer, it means Vein Vardhaman was a young child and his friends were playing on a large tree. Suddenly a massive poisonous black snake appeared, terrifying the children. Even the bravest individual would have been shaken in such situation. However, young Vardhaman remained calm and fearless, and he faced the snake with unwavering courage. And eventually, the snake changed its path and left. It was it was in recognition of his fearlessness that he was bestowed with the name of Veer. So he was Veer because by seeing a snake, he was fearlessness. His nature was fearlessness. That's why we call Veer. Ativeer. On another occasion, an elephant became uncontrolled and went wild. He broke through doors and began causing damage to nearby houses and objects. Panic ensued, and people start running all the direction, unsure of what to do. However, Vardhaman remained fearless. He fearlessly confronted the elephant, using his skills and intelligence to raise in control over the situation. After this incident, he was known as Ativir. So Veer, it means the incidence of snake, and Ativir, it means the incidence of elephant. Fourth name is Mahavir. This name was given to him because he possessed extraordinary bravery. Sanmati. There were two Jain monks named Sanjay and Vijay Muniraj who had lingering doubt in his mind. One day, as they were passing through a jungle, they encountered young Vardhaman playing with his friend. Just by observing him, their doubts were instantly resolved. Such was the aura and the enlightenment that surrounded him. Henceforth, he was referred to as Sanmati, meaning to one who is entitled enlightened and knowledgeable. So Sanmati, it means extra intelligent. Even he's not extra intelligent, but his aura is also so effective that when one can see him as Muniraj Sanjay Vijay Muniraj just saw him. So the question was what were hovering in his mind, they resolve instantly. Then, so I have just narrated here, or I have just told you the meaning of five name of Lord Mahavir. Now, when he was only 30 years, then he decided to just accept the Muni Avastha, Sage Avastha, ecstatic Avastha. Then he requested to his parents. Firstly, he denied to have to just get married because he was extraordinary, intelligent, handsome that time. So, fathers of many daughters sent the proposal to get married with their daughters, but he clearly refused to get married that time. And he, at the age of 30, he finally decided to have ecstatic avastha, ecstatic stage, and he got just Muni avastha that time. Continuously, Bhagwan Mahavir, he just in, he was in the state of self-realization, and at the age of 42, he just achieved Keval Gyan. Keval Gyan, you know this. Keval Gyan, it means when four Ghatiya karma destroyed, and as a result, four Ananta Darshan, Ananta Gyan, Anant Sukh, and Anant Viri, they just achieved by that divine soul is called Keval Gyan. So now Keval Gyan, it means now he's capable to see each and everything in his Gyan. There is nothing to do him. And since the age of 42 to 70 years, he just preached around this Bharat Bhumi at different places. And he preached many principles like Anekan Syadvat, like Ahimsa, Asteya, just like Dravya Gun Paryaya, etc. One incident, what is remarkable, we usually just hear the name of Gandhar, Gautam Gandhar. So there is a one incident what you can just read in this presentation, what Jeev has created. Even you can just read in Balbod and at many places you can find this incident. So, however, the extraordinary occurrence 66 days of the Holy Assembly Hall, the divine sound was absent. It means Divyadhani. After having passed the 66 days of achieving Keval Gyan, Lord Mahavir, there was no Divyadhani in Samabhusharan as a holy assembly hall. Then what happened? Everyone was just in tension. What happened? Why Lord Mahavir is not preaching anything? Then Indra, a celestial being. Then Indra, he just saw in his Avadi Gyan that there is an absent of Gautam Gandhar. And by using a trick, he reached to Indrabhuti Gautam. He was, that time he was a Brahmin scholar, Brahmin super scholar having 500 disciples. And Sodarmin, disguising himself as an old man, approached Indrabhuti and asked for the meaning of the challenging verse, stating that he couldn't ask his own guru, who was deeply immersed in meditation. Sodharm Indra challenged Indrabhuti, doubting his ability to answer it. Filled with pride, Indrabhuti accepted the challenge, promising to become a disciple of an old man's guru if he failed answered correctly. So it was the trick that Indra asked a question, what is Dravya, what is Paryaya, etc. Then Indrabhuti Gautam Gandhar didn't have any kind of answer of these questions. Then he told that, okay, I will tell to your guru and I would like to meet him. So Indrabhuti was perplexed and he did not know the answer of any of the question. However, his pride prevented him from admitting the truth and he arrogantly demanded to be taken to the old man's guru, claiming that he would only engage in the argument with the learned scholar. Sodarmin knew he had succeeded in his mission and brought Indrabhuti to a divine assembly hall. At just one glance at the magnificent Manastham, Indrabhuti's pride melted away, and he humbly bowed at the feet of the Lord Mahavir. He realized how insignificant his knowledge was compared to the omniscience of the Lord. And along with his two brothers and five disciples, Indrabhuti renounced worldly possession and embraced Jain ecstatism. It means Muni. Indrabhuti Gautam transformed into Gautam Gandhar and leader ecstatic and become the bearer four kinds of knowledge. So it is just an incidents which is important to know about Gautam Gandhar. Now, during his Keval Gyan life, Lord Mahavir is he just preached in his Divyadhani many doctrines of there's a Vastu Vyavastha, not Jain philosophy. So Jain philosophy is not separated. Jain philosophy is not just artificial, but what the Vastu Vyavastha is there. So and Lord Mahavir can clearly see in his Keval Gyan and what he preached that time. So that is called Vastu Vyavastha or the principle told by Lord Mahavir. How much time we are just having to end the class? Harshal, could you
We have
tell me?
7, 8 more minutes. You can take 10 minutes more, and
Okay,
then
say,
we'll start with you.
okay. So 10 minutes, and 10 minutes are going to be very important for us. Now, Lord Mahavir, Lord Mahavir told some principles, and we are going to discuss about the practical implementation of these principles in our life. You know, these principles are not bookish. These principles are not to become a scholar. These principles are not the point of discussion for us. Nowadays, people are intense stress. They are having health problem. You can see that this whole world is burning, and the heart of individual people is burning with many desires. People are in perplexed situation. They are unable to know what I have to do, what not. So this is the time when the principle preached by Lord Mahavir badly required, and the implementation of these principles only can resolve the problems of not only individuals but society, but country, but the whole world. We can see the war between just Israel and Hamas, Russia and what the other country. So uh, so everyone in this world, they are facing many problems. And if we adopt the principles, if we know the principle of Lord Mahavir, definitely we can solve the problems of all these. So in Jainism, the nature of breath is not just social, but can lead to the resolution of the various global issues. It is necessary to practice, embody these vows in one's life. Non-violence is the foremost principle of Jainism. Non-violence is the foremost principle of Jainism, and discussed at various places in whole Jinwani. Peace can be established entire world if we implement non-violence. We are aware about the freedom movement of India. Freedom movement of India just is very famous around the globe because Mahatma Gandhi was the leader of this movement. Mahatma Gandhi learned ahimsa from Jain philosophy, and then he implemented in the freedom movement. Then instantly he was the global attention that time. And he clearly stated in his book, in his autobiography, My Experience by Truth. He told that I have learned this non-violence from Jain philosophy. So the burning issues of present era, such as terrorism, world wars, nuclear weapons, environmental pollution, can undoubtedly be resolved through the practice of vow of non-violence, as stated Jain philosophy. That Jain philosophy says that having feeling of love, joy, compassion, and equanimity towards all living beings. So Jain philosophy does not discriminate that it is tree, it is low caste human, it is upper caste human. Jainism, Jain philosophy is having same feeling of love, joy, compassion, and equanimity. Now there are five breaths. These are important. So we are going to discuss five breaths and ahimsa, asteya, अपरिग्रह, हिंसा, झूठ, चोरी, कुशील, परिग्रह, and opposite of it, ahimsa, asteya, brahmacharya, aparigrah. These principles are not only can provide you the soul satisfaction, can remove your stress, but also can just provide you a healthy lifestyle, can just provide you a social good relations, etc. Among all Indian philosophy, non-violence hold an extremely eminent position. The practitioner of non-violence does not engage in the cruel behavior towards anyone. It is remarkable thing. The practitioner of non-violence does not engage in cruel behavior towards anyone, not by words, but by feelings. A famous and renowned acharya stated in Pursar Siddhi Upay, अप्रादुर्भावः खलु रागादीनां भवत्य हिंसेति अप्रादुर्भावः खलु रागादीनां भवत्य हिंसेति तेषां मेवोत्पत्ति जिनागमस्य संक्षेपा. If the feeling of attachment and aversion are arising in your heart, in your mind, it means you are hinsak. If the absence of these kind of feeling, it means you are ahimsa. So there in Purushart Siddhi Upaya, Acharya is not saying that you are just doing that kind of deed. Of course, that is hinsa. It is widely accepted. You are, if you are uttering bad words, if you are just killing someone, of course it is hinsa. But what Acharya Amrit Chand in Pursar Siddhupa, he is saying that if the attachment and aversion, the feeling of attachment and aversion arises in your heart, that is hinsa. And if you would like to remove hinsa from your life, first of all, you will have to do that. The attachment and aversion must be removed from your heart and feelings. Second one is Satyanubrat. Satyanubrat, it means it's very common. We have learned from our childhood. We must speak truth. It can just eradicate just a corruption, bribery, criminal cases, can resolve many problems of governments. So Jainism also clearly say that one should not speak falsehood. The essence of truth lies in the presentation of fact and in the perspective of reality. Thus, truth exists in speech, knowledge of faith, not just in words. This profound definition of truth help one avoid many evils if understand and applied in real life. So it is just a short narration about Satyanubrat. Now, Achoryanubrat, it means a non-stealing, vow of non-stealing. It's very famous, government, every day government is saying that, please do not steal our tax. Because if you are not paying tax properly, we will not be able to run this country. We will not be do the execution. We will not be able to execute our projects. So Achoryanubrat we can discuss in many ways. By observing the third vow of non-stealing, one cannot only prevent theft, robbery, import-export fraud, tax evasion, and related problems, but also effectively curb the rise of offenses. So if this principle, Achoryanubrat, is just uh, people can accept in his life, definitely many problems like fraud, tax evasions, robbery, these problems instantly can be resolved. And the practitioner of non-stealing does not purchase even stolen goods. So this is Achoryanubrat and Brahmacharyanubrat, vow of chastity. When we talk about chastity, so-called, this is big problems around the globe. Many politicians, many person, by breaking the chastity, it means by just having affair with another one, can destroy even his life and his career. Jain Acharya have imparted a powerful teaching on the follower of the context of the Brahmacharya vow, emphasizing the renunciation of external pleasure of containment is one on partners. This instruction given for benefit of individual, society, nation, and world is an extremely important and ultimate practical message. Today, due to neglect of these principles, the emergence of the various sexual disease, AIDS, etc., occurring. So, if anyone, if this society or the individual just accept or adopt this vow of chastity, brahmacharya, definitely many problems can be resolved. And last one is parigraha parmanavrat. It means vow of limited possessions. The fifth parigraha parimanavrat is also capable of eradicating various problems because excessive accumulation leads to the possessiveness, violence, falsehood, theft, and other offense. As possession increases, so do the imbalance in nature and various economic issues arises. Therefore, by adhering to the vow of limited possessions, it is possible to solve many global problems. The practitioner of aparigraha does not indulge in unnecessary accumulation, exploitation of the other rights. So this is the principle of aparigraha. It means you must accumulate only those things which are useful to you for your just to fulfill the needs of your daily life, because in absence of these principles, your unlimited desire will try to accumulate more and more and more wealth. Then definitely there will be imbalance. So these five principles, main principles we have discussed. Now, how can we remove at last? How can we remove our stress? What I just stated when I started the session. You can remove your stress because we are in stress due to this hinsa. We are in stress due to aparigraha. We are in stress due to this abrahmachari. If we follow these principles, it means we are we are just vegetarian. We are having vegetarian food. We will not eat at night. So your many problems, peace and prosperity. I have done just a PhD in peace and prosperity in this, and in that research, I have proved that anyone who is desiring to have permanent peace and prosperity. So prosperity doesn't mean only the material prosperity. Prosperity, it means the prosperity of health, the prosperity of mind, the prosperity of society, the prosperity of spirituality. So these kind of prosperity are also there. So if anyone is just having a desire to have peace and prosperity in his life, then the principles preached by Lord Mahavir are so important at present time. Then you will have to be adopt for sake of just having permanent peace and prosperity. As a conclusion, all souls are mundane and have been suffering in this four realms since eternity. However, though once on perseverance of self efforts, these suffering can come to an end, leading to complete bliss. It means the purpose of a life, the purpose of understanding these principles is only one: self realization. This is not the principle of any individual, but this is the principle of Ananta Tirthankar, Anantacharya. So, to accumulate these knowledge, to know the life of Lord Mahavir, is only with having one purpose, which is self realization. I hope you have understood the life of Lord Mahavir and the preaching given by him. Now, with this note, I just put an end to the session. If you are having any question, you can ask to me.
Thank you so much, Saurabh Bhaiya. Since we have Mahavir Jayanti upcoming, so we have scheduled this lecture on the same topic. And Bhaiya has explained the whole life of Balak Vardhaman and how the Keval Gyan happened, the whole story, all his five names, everything. So, if anybody is having any questions in and around the topic of Mahavir Jayanti or Balak Vardhaman, whatever, you are open to ask the question. You can raise your hand and ask the question. Okay, so if you don't have any question, then I'll ask few questions. So let's wait for a couple of minutes, and I will ask few questions from the audience. Okay, so I don't think so. It's we anybody's having any queries related to the topic. So let me just shoot one important question, which is Bhaiya has quoted in the last about one slok which denotes non-violence from Granth. So you have to name the Granth as well as what is the conclusion of that Gatha which he mentioned. Anybody?
Please feel free to ask and to tell, to ask any question and to reply of the question, because it is open discussion. So we
Yes.
are discussing. So please do not hesitate.
You can raise your hand and answer to my question what I have answered, what I have asked. Okay, let me make it simple. So it's a granth called Purushar Siddhyopaya.
Usha by Amrit Chandracharya.
Yes, you can raise your hand and answer. Hina auntie, yes.
It's by Pushat Siddhi by Amrit Chandracharya and Amrit Chandraji.
Okay, can you just shortly explain what was the conclusion of the Gatha and why Saurabh Bhaiya quoted this Gatha here?
I think it was about Ahimsa Paramo Dharma. I'm not very sure.
Okay, okay. I got your point. So basically, Bhaiya quoted Apradurбhava khalu ragadinam bhavati hinseti.
Yeah, Rag, yeah.
Yes, Teshame Utpatti Jiva Iti Jinagama Sanchepa. Which means when we talk about non-violence, ahimsa, we typically what people think about ahimsa is like no jeev hatya, eating non-roots and not having dinners, having food before sunset, all these kinds. But main ahimsa is apradhurbhava khalu ragadinam bhavati hinsiti. Rag and dvesh. So we need to get reduction from all rag and dvesh. These are the factors which are entering into our body, which means our soul. This means this is hinsa, and we need to get rid of this hinsa. So this is the one slok which he quoted. Apart from this, we had the whole history about father's name, mother's name, whole story about Keval Gyan, whole story about 66 days, white pot and halt, and everything. I hope that all is clear. So if anybody want to conclude that what is the main one last question I have. The last question is what is the purpose of knowing this whole story of Bhagwan Mahavir? Anybody? It's a very simple question. What is the
How to achieve self-realization?
yes, definitely. That's a good answer. So basically, everything has a purpose. If we learn about Karnanu Yoga, if we learn about Dravana Yoga, the whole and sole purpose is to attain a Siddhadasha. Although we are Bhagwan Atmas, still the main focus is to know their whole life and how the journey of Balak Vardhaman to Lord Mahavir, Char Aghati Karma, how this thing all happened, the whole and sole purpose is that. So, yeah, that's all about today's lecture. If any queries, please feel free to ask, else we will end the session. Anybody who want to conclude on Mahavir Jayanti, any other queries, put any point?
So I just have one thing to say.
Yes.
Usually in our Amnai, we say Mahavir Janma Kalyanak and not Jayanti. And I think that is primarily because Janma Kalyanak sirf Tirthankar ke hote hai. Only Tirthankar's birthday is celebrated as Janma Kalyanak, and of ordinary souls, it becomes Jayanti. So this was one point maybe we can highlight. Yeah.
Thank you, Vijaldi. Saurav sir, any light on this topic on this point?
Yeah, these are, all the same. These are just synonyms. We cannot just say that Jayanti or Jan Kalyanak is different. So Bhagwan Mahavir, we are in the ruling of Lord Mahavir. So definitely it's a big celebration of Lord Mahavir, birthday celebration. Of course, it is birthday celebration. So if you are comfortable in Janma Kalyana, in Janma, then you can call Bhagwan Mahavir Janma Jayanti. I'm comfortable in Janma Jayanti, then I will call that in that way.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. I hope there are no further questions. Okay. So let me, before we proceed to Jinwani Stuti, let me shortly share my screen to show you all the accessible points. Okay. So I have already dropped in all the credential, the links accessible on the chat box. So first of all, what you all need to do is we have definitely planned these lectures in a systematic format for you. To take the essence of these lectures, you can visit our website. You can log in with your name. If you have any queries, you can also email us on support@jeev.net.in. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel. once the lecture is done, we usually upload the recorded lecture the next day, one day ahead of the lecture conducted date. So this lecture you will get on YouTube tomorrow. And once you subscribe to YouTube channel, you can get the updates. Once you log into our GIF portal, you can also get the updates of when our future lecture to be held, and what are the topics, what are the study material to be there. Let's say Mahavir Jayanti special articles we have already posted on the website. So you can take those lectures or those links from there. Yeah. And if you have any queries, you can definitely come to us at support@gmail.net. Yeah. Jinwani.
निज निधि निज में बताई, यह अनंत उपकार है। इसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना शतवार है, वंदना शतवार है।
No, madam.
Jai Jindra Saurabh, thank you so much for having a special session on this Mahavir Jayanti. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you for coordinating for such events. Thank you so much.
Yeah, welcome.
Jai Jindra.
So with this note, I hope that you will just start your self-study knowing the principle of Lord Mahavir, because this session is not just an end, but it is the starting.
Yes.
When you will understand the principles preached by Lord Mahavir, definitely your life will be very full of peace, prosperity, and stress-free. So